Let's summarize here what are the facts of the present situation. Point 1. When monarch or person of the recognizable frequency awaken, which would be still most often title or temple-related bloodline, or both most probably, it is immediate and direct responsibility of the protocol to acknowledge the house. We would be talking Earth house in this case scenario. That is that the active person has been awakened, therefore protocol Excalibur. Present event is also confirmation that there is such thing as ruling and teaching house of Earth. I have been explaining sufficiently that we talk about deploying logic and reason on a planet which would evolve into formation of order of teaching and nothing less of ruling, today represented in format of constitution. I am proposing as latest and most contemporary answer, which clearly anyone agree does represent promotion of continuation of development of what we call human civilization. Yet we are still stuck in inherited avalanche of prejudice and taken political positions of powers, shareholding of powers, and fear not to be lost, I would argue, what has not been gained yet either, managing the world properly and responsibly. I will notice that the planet continues to play in extremes, from one extreme to another. Either we have Führer or we have dull and dysfunctional monarchy of England. I have recognized that for a longer period of time, the planet has fallen in hands of general population, defined by general shareholding of power centers from lower perspectives and lower moral standards that have adopted a couple of very obvious successful principles of playing the ball from one extreme to another and sharing the benefit out of each time accomplished level of misery, confusion, and devastation. That has been totally challenged. Today I challenge the entire system, not just monarchy of England, but the entire system that is using the protocol and the institutional powers to make fool out of the entire concept of planetary realm. Point 2. And you will be chosen is reference to any regular principle of how to make any regular administration, except obviously the one that should be formatted. I will not accept to be defeated by fools. We can only talk today about the amount of time we are going to waste on this. Nothing else really is what we can talk about today. So let's talk for another day, ladies and gentlemen, about wasting of our time. What is happening today is still administration information of promise they're going to then deliver to me what I need. Seriously, like we are not joking. No, what you're doing is playing the ball in a protocol playing the ball, being called football or similar sport of kind of what would be there for sport association, holding the planet and playing with principal imperial bloodlines and principal temples from where it has emerged protocol fallen angels. Here not only monarchy, but religion as well transforms into fools played around by the crowd. As a matter of fact, that is exactly where we are at the moment, where are in question institutions, when are in question institutional powers. I, however, cannot today confirm their imposition while used in format of cork on the top of the bottle of wine, or what they have been chosen because of their weaknesses. I am not in promise to confirm their inauguration, but to set them aside as not useless, only useless, but with damaging effects. Maybe it is all about flying carpets that all of a sudden happened with a working desk and a pen. Can you imagine what transition? I am therefore challenging Protocol Disneyland again. This is where I am reaching the Garden of Eden and the Lake of the Excalibur. Over what protocol again I declare my Highlander identity and work. Point 3. When protocol teaching or a ruling declared you do not walk on same side with the students or population because it is work of its own kind, so to talk about political competition here with ground level political parties is not best description of the event itself. Best proof is socialism that cannot afford to move even for an inch away from the actual imperial bloodlines, so excuse me, I have no intention to accept the position of Cinderella either. I'm going to say again that old-fashioned approach will need to end right now. I don't want here to disadvantage some of the former socialism countries. However, I would just like to highlight here that we have. I just want to disassociate myself from too much populist-driven movements, as I find this much more positioned on the other side of the entire event, as when we have situation amphitheater. So basically we have the audience here and we have the speaker, and I want that to be noticed properly before we continue for another day to argue on whatever issues are for a day. Yes, what I'm saying, I can't see why I would be compromising now what position I hold with today's discussion. That is not now something that we should continue discussing even. This is not just identity question, this is civilizational question. Point 4, I'm also going to notice devil versus God approach, where there is promotion of weakness, promotion of destructive nature, and building simply wrong person out of giving potential in young hands, in young people, building completely wrong outcome, and doing everything in some kind of antipode, everything opposite of how it should be, basically destroying young people. That is devil approach. What I'm doing here is teaching elaboration of the present situation, identifying the standards of most general and most absolute correctness, and highlighting the issues. I'm accordingly advising, I'm correcting, I'm pointing out, I'm clarifying. That is all God approach. What is going on at the moment on the planet is devil approach as we speak. So as I have heard, some structures of population now are talking about first will happen devil and then will happen Jesus. Well, we are living devil for 2 millenniums. What they are saying here is that they will use this work first while being themselves now in hardship how to do that, and then when they modify it, they would like to bring Jesus as next generation of fool for what they conveniently breed the relevant houses as they speak. One to do manipulation, the other to play the form, two-faced coin in total dysfunctionality. I don't want this to play heavy to no one, literally. But we are talking 2 millenniums here. What I would rather to notice, what I rather want to accomplish with this is not to provide ground for these statements to be promoted and someone to be pushed out of a comfort zone to promote such statements and continue to be disadvantaged. I just want to take out the ground completely for something like that to be further discussed. Point 5, one would say strategic differences. You cannot have strategic difference on one planet. Any realm should be properly charted on what categorizes strategic differences and what level of functioning of the planet we are talking about. The planet does not have properly recognized and delivered hierarchy in managing that would be operating as a world to begin with. By enclosing my constitutional world, I am technically just now constituting the planet, and from that point onwards starting to build its hierarchical administration. Therefore, do not find yourself in a mind space of you choosing me. It is other way around. I will need to make my own selection by what kind of people I would be assisted rather than administrated, instead to be administrated by general population. What a foolishness! How can someone even think like that? That would make absolutely no sense, yet that is exactly where we are now. I would ask a majority of the power positions of the planet to explain their positions on this and how they found themselves on this level of orchestrating the affairs of the planet by using characters of my kind.